I am so tired of coming on this podcast every single week and telling you to stop playing T.Y. Hilton. Like, just stop it.
Mikey needs help.
Mikey needs help.
I was like, if you don't have Jeff Wilson in here, and if you don't run it on first down, I'm going to strangle you through that TV.
You should know better than everyone else. That fool tears you up when you plays you.
Yeah, but
Don't you want him on your team?
I have him at number 25.
Thank you. Fine. Todd's the reasonable one on this show.
I take issue with everything he said there.
Well,
I really do.
DeAndre Swift. He's going to break them tackles, son.
That's bold. That's bold. That's putting your nuts on the table right there.
Hey, there's the first time for everything.
Waxing poetic over here with Todd Diamond.
Dude's old.
So what? He's not as old as Brady, and you're jerking him off before the show starts.
I have Sutton in my top 10. I have him at number 9. Yes.
You know what? I'm just canceling the league. I can't do this with you guys. Hello, MHA owners. Matt Ryan is back. And now it's a race to the waiver wire. Who will get him this week, or who will have him once you listen to this broadcast? 75 points. I know Todd's picking him up. What's going on, everyone out there? Eric Lansing, Todd Diamond, Mikey Renault. Are you guys excited for the return of Matt Ryan?
Woohoo.
Is it just me?
No,
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, no. Yeah, no.
Pretty good intro for Matt Ryan, though.
Yeah, it's probably his best intro he's ever gonna get on this podcast. So yeah.
We being for real right now. Like,
Yeah, no.
No, I'm not being for real. Come on, it's Matt Ryan. I just thought it was crazy. He led everyone in scoring, even the great Josh Allen, 75 points. Mikey,
well,
he's not thrilled.
No.
That's how it goes. But that's what we're doing. We're here talking about fantasy, and you had one of the best fantasy days of Week 6. That's what we're here to do today. Talk about Week 6. Not a lot of high-scoring games, or maybe it's more not a lot of amazing performances this week. Now there's some good performances and some surprise performances, but we'll get to all the recap here in just a moment. How you guys doing on this Tuesday evening? Wow, that good, huh?
I'll let Yankee
Way to go,
Boy
guys.
first. No, I'll let Yankee Boy go first.
Yeah.
Oh, we're not here to talk about the Yankees.
I'm just going to say Yankees moving on the ALCS to take on the Astros, and I hope they whoop that ass. Okay? I can hate the Astros, but we're not going to talk about that. But I'm very happy. I'm very happy that the Yankees are moving on. Took a few more games than I wanted it to, but they're moving on, and it's a quick turnaround. So tomorrow night. So let's go Yankees.
All right. Now that that's over, let's talk about the real story, which is that the Hot Tamales are 5-1 and on top of the MHA for the third straight week.
Yes, they are. Against who did you beat this week? Oh, that's right, the Butterfingers. Good old Todd squad. We'll talk about that in a moment. Let's get right into this whole shebang, and we'll start off with some news.
Well, this reporter was possibly a little hasty earlier. Would like to reaffirm his allegiance to this country and its human president. May not be perfect, but it's still the best government we have. For now.
And if I forget anything, just let me know. Cardinals wide receiver Marquise Brown will miss about 6 weeks with a non-surgical fracture in his foot. Got hurt during that Seattle game just in time for the return of DeAndre Hopkins. He's going to come in hoping to rejuvenate that Arizona offense. That's been less than stellar, to say the least. That Marquise Brown injury may have forced a trade as the Cardinals acquired disgruntled Panthers wide receiver Robbie Anderson. Any of you two excited about Robbie Anderson? Are we going to go pick him up? Should people pick him up off the waiver wire?
Todd, you had him before.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe a new change of scenery will help. I mean, I always kind of, base that factor sometimes, when you go from a losing team to a kind of a winning team, it helps a little bit. But no, I'm not rushing to pick him off the waiver wire. I mean, let's see what he does. But no, I'm not using any of my waiver wire to get him.
I mean, got to be better than Jerry Jeudy, right?
Oh, watch out.
You can just shit on the Broncos. Great. Cool.
Oh, there'll be plenty of that on this show. We'll continue with the news, however. Aaron Rodgers' best buddy, Randall Cobb will miss some time dealing with an ankle issue. The Rams lose yet another starting piece on their offensive line. They lose tackle Joe Noteboom to a ruptured Achilles in their matchup with the Eagles. Boy, it's a mash unit over there in Los Angeles. Buccaneers tight end Cameron Brate was carted off the field due to an injury to his neck. Seems like he avoided serious injury, but will miss some time. Good old Todd's best buddy, Russell Wilson, has been dealing with a lat injury and now could be hampered by a hamstring injury. Doesn't sound like he'll miss any time, but something they should keep an eye on. Brett ripping anyone? I don't know. How about some breaking news? Deshaun Jackson lives, everyone. He was signed by the Baltimore Ravens and was placed on their practice squad. 35-year-old Deshaun Jackson last played for Las Vegas and Los Angeles 1 year ago and grabbed 20 receptions for about 450 some yards, 2 touchdowns. Any fantasy relevance there, Miguel?
I'm kind of tired of that story. It seems like it's happened every year for the last 7 years.
15 years this dude's been in the league.
Yeah, why doesn't he just go away?
I don't know. Because people keep needing him because injuries keep piling up, I guess. But I guess something to think about. Ravens over there. I don't know if that means something's going on with Rashad Bateman, or are they just looking for someone that can go deep a couple times a game? Must still be in good shape. Thought I'd read something. He was like 22.7 yards per catch a season ago, which was the best of his career. So maybe he's got something left in the gas tank. Maybe.
I need Deshaun Jackson like I need a root canal.
Ooh, those are not fun, let me tell you. Any other news? Any other injuries I missed, guys? So pretty much the extent of it. Not a long list today.
No.
Hey, I mean, Russell Wilson says he's injured, so, I mean, there's that.
Well, let's ride. I don't know. We'll see.
And oh god, here it goes. And then Melvin Gordon's still pouting like a little baby. So
I don't know if that's an injury, but
well,
sure, pouting. I guess that's a news note.
Yeah, because they might trade him. So we'll see.
It counts as injured ego. You know.
Okay, that's a good one. I like that. Injured.
Yeah, we saw a trade in the league. Mike Boone for James Cook, league winner, or as Mikey kind of said yesterday, garbage for garbage.
Yeah.
Interesting trade, but I guess with Melvin Gordon now maybe not in favor of the current coaching staff. I don't know. We saw more Latavius Murray than we did Mike Boone. We'll see how that goes. All right, we'll continue on with the show here. How about some MHA trivia?
Time to play the game. Time to play the game.
Yeah, you guys ready? Woo, no cheating, you bastards. Can't tell if you're cheating. So, this is how we're going to, this is very last second, so this is not well thought out. So it may work out, it may not. I'm going to mention someone's name, and then you guys are going to go back and forth in terms of who I'm going to let go first. I'm going to give you a name, and you're going to tell me where you think they're ranked in our score amongst their position. So if I give you a quarterback, you tell me where you think they're ranked amongst our quarterbacks. The second person will chime in, and they can say over or under. And, well, I don't know if that'll work. No, we can do it that way. And then if someone says under and it was over, then the person who chimed in first gets the point. Does that make sense? Am I explaining that correctly?
Yeah, I think I got it.
Okay, perfect. We'll just keep going until we get 5. I have a bunch of names here, but if we need to go further, we can definitely do so. Okay, let's go. Todd, I'm going to start with you because you lost last week in MHA Trivia. So I'm going to give you the name of Aaron Rodgers. Now you guess where you think he's ranked, and then Mikey can come in and say either over or under the position that you put out there.
Okay. So I think he is ranked 14th in our league.
Okay, Mikey, do you think he's ranked 14th, higher than 14th or lower than 14th?
Yeah, that's a pretty good guess. I'm going to say... I'll say over.
He's going to go over, and the answer is Todd Diamond on the exact number, 14th. Holy cow, Todd Diamond.
Wow.
So Aaron Rodgers, 236 points, not having his normal season. Talk about, he's had a couple of 40-point games, 39, 25, 39 last week against the Jets, no less. But Todd Diamond takes the first point, And now we will go to the second one. And Mikey, let's go with Justin Fields. Guy who's played every game so far this season. Mikey, give me a guess.
28.
Okay. Todd, do you think he's over, under? 28.
He's over.
Mikey says 28th. Todd says over, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And the answer is over. He is actually 29th. Mikey, that was still really an amazing guess. But Justin Fields, 137 points. He's played in every game this year. Let me tell you his numbers. 24 points, 15 points, 12 points, 20 points. And actually has picked up his game the last couple weeks, 33 and 33. Oof, Justin Fields. That Browns offense, although good old Mooney still had a decent day against me last week, but go figure that one. All right, let's keep this game rolling along. We'll go back to Todd. Let's go to some wide receivers. How about Devontae Adams, Todd? Where do you think he's at?
He is. I'll go 6th.
Okay, Mikey, you gonna go over or under?
I'm going to go over because of the bye week.
And the answer is over by one spot, 7th. Are you sure you guys aren't cheating over there? You guys are killing it right now. Devontae Adams, 78 points. Solid. You're right. He had a bye week, so I didn't pick a good guy. But still, to be 7th is pretty impressive considering he didn't have any points last week. But 23 points, 8 points, 12, 14, and a big 21 against Kansas City. He had those 2 long touchdowns that went in there. So, Mike, you got that one right, correct?
Correct.
So it's 2-1 in favor of Todd. This is not the best MHA trivia I've ever done. Mikey, back to you. Mike Evans, where do you think he's ranked?
I'll say 15th.
Don't you me. Mikey, over under.
You mean Todd over?
Todd's over. Sorry, Todd, over
Okay.
under.
Mikey said 15th. I'll say under.
Todd says under. The answer is 15 on the dot. Way to go, Miguel. I was a little lower than I thought he was going to be. But he had a 25-point day, a 14-point day. He also didn't play against Green Bay, but a 6-point day, an 8-point day, and a 6-point day. So when he's on, he's on. When he's not, he's kind of mortal. Just 3 receiving touchdowns all season long. We're tied 2-2, folks. We'll just keep on going here. Back to Todd. One of Todd's favorite players, if I recall, at the beginning of the season, Deontay Johnson from Pittsburgh.
I'll say he's 18th.
18th for Deontay Johnson. Todd, Mikey, excuse me.
I'll say over.
He says over, and the answer is over. Deontay Johnson, 25th in our scoring system, just 48 points. Man, the last few weeks have been putrid. 6 points, 8 points, and 3 points. Things have not been going well for Deontay Johnson, and really kind of that Pittsburgh offense. And we knew it was going to be a struggle. He started off the year incredibly strong, 9 points, 10 points, 12 points. But kind of come back down to earth a little bit. All right, so Mikey takes the lead here as we get down. I have a couple more names left, so we'll see how Todd does on this last one. Actually, Mikey, he gets the next pick here. And maybe Mikey knows the answer to this because this is his guy, but Austin Eckler, where is he ranked?
I don't know, but I'll say 2nd.
Okay, Todd, over under.
Um,
I always think this is an interesting one because he said 2nd. So is Is he number one, or is he could be any of the guys behind him, which is 1,000 spots, right? There's so many opportunities after that. That's just a funny way to look at it, I think. But go ahead.
I'll say he's. Ooh, is there an option to push?
You know what? I'll give you both a point if you want to push it. Sure.
Yeah, I'll do a push.
All right. And the answer is he's actually number one, you guys. 119 points over. He's 7 points ahead of Nick Chubb. Goodness gracious. 32, 34, 21 the last 3 weeks. So he's been quite incredible. Okay, so this next one, Todd, you have to get it right or Mikey wins the game. Okay? This is going to be your choice first. So let's talk about a running back by the name of Rhamondre. So let's talk about a running back by the name of Rhamondre Stevenson. Where do you think he's ranked?
I'll say he's ranked 13th.
Okay, 13th by Todd Diamond. Mikey, over under.
I'll go over.
And the answer is over. Rhamondre Stevenson with 15, who's 15th in our point scoring system. He's played in every game. Slow start to the season as they still had Damian Harris in there. But obviously with Damian Harris out of the picture at the current moment, he had big time 23 points against Cleveland's defense, a couple of touchdowns, had 25 rush attempts 2 weeks ago against Detroit, and 11 and 18 before that. So a big time performance, or really season from Rhamondre Stevenson in that now vaunted New England offense. Chumps. But that's just someone bitter because I tried to run my defense against them, and that was a big mistake. So there you go. Well done, Miguel. You win once again at MHA Trivia. Good job, buddy boy.
At my request, can we play Simply the Best by Tina Turner?
We could, but then it would just get bleeped out when people listen. So if you want to sing it, you can go for it. I guess that means no.
On with the show.
On with the show. And we'll get into the week 6 recap. So let me take my deep breath. Whew. All right, here we go. Let's start with the Belt Sanders, who took on the defending champs in the notorious CUP. Josh Allen, of course, was sensational once again, this time against the Kansas City defense, 59 points. But the surprise of the matchup could have been the 49ers wide receiver Brandon Aiyuk, who piled up 24 points, by far the highest output of the season for him. 8 receptions, 83 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Zeke put up 15. George Kittle finally kind of came alive with 12 points. But Geno Smith, not a great day, especially against a bad Cardinals defense, just 31 total points. And DJ Moore continues to just be putrid in that Panthers offense. Final score were the Belt Sanders 121-114. They improved to 4-2. Man, Allen's squad 3 wins all of last season. Already have 4 in 6 weeks. Quane's squad falls to 4-2. The Gonzo Cats improved. The Gonzo Cats also improved to 4-2 after a 121-114 win over Kilgore Trout, who falls to 3-3. 7 players had 10 or more points for Pollen's team, including 19 from Breece Hall, 14 from Dalvin Cook, and 13 points from Devontae Smith. Despite 36 combined points from Chris McCaffrey and Leonard Fournette, quite a few stinkers on the Trout squad. Just 37 from Kyler Murray, his worst fantasy performance of this 2022 season. Lion Rip scored a week-high 156 points to throttle yours truly by 44 points. Joe Burrow had his first 60-point outing of 2022, finishing with 66. Burrow had more points at half than Tom Brady pretty much had the entire game yesterday. So while Brady managed a mere 40 points, hurting Eric's squad, Baltimore's ineptness on offense also played a part in the loss. 1 point from J.K. Dobbins, 1 from Devin Duvernay. Stephon Diggs is good, of course, every week. 23 points, 10 receptions, 148 yards, and a TD. Lemonheads down in the dumps at 2-4, and Lion Rip at 4-2. The league's top team, the Hot Tamales, earned their 5th win this season, pounding those Butterfingers into the ground, 128-101. 48 points from Patrick Mahomes and 13 from Kelsey continues to be a formidable duo. The story of this matchup was the play of Russell Wilson and Jerry Jeudy, 35 combined points. boy, the future is not looking promising for that Broncos offense. Tamales now 5-1, and Todd Squad now 2-4. Mikey, you want to say anything about this matchup?
Yeah, I mean, I got a little concerned, when Russell Wilson came out of the gate last night off to a hot start.
He was like
Thought
10
Todd
for
was
10.
he was off to, right on that comeback trail, and then it just all died. And hell, maybe Todd's season did too. We'll see.
Oh, goodness gracious. First the Broncos, now Todd Squad. Todd, we feeling a little nervous right now?
Well, that game last night definitely that triggered me to go make a trade. Hopefully,
Well, you offered a trade, right? I haven't seen anything come through, so I'm assuming you haven't heard anything yet.
Yeah, I have not heard anything yet. So, try to make a trade for Kirk Cousins, but yeah.
So anybody that has a quarterback, reach out to Todd. He's looking for one.
Yeah, because Russell Wilson, is still kind of in a stall or something. But that first drive when they went down the field, like, oh, this is great. This is like finally, this is gonna turn the Broncos season around. This is gonna turn my season around. Wrong. I was wrong. I'm wrong. I'm wrong. I'm wrong. I'm just wrong. I'm wrong about everything in life. But yeah, it just was. I don't know. I mean, the Broncos offense we know is in a different, is lost in space at this point. But yeah, just wasn't. I needed 36. I needed 37 points to win, and it just didn't happen. So 2-4, and gotta either tweak some things or pray to some fantasy football god or something, or flip a coin, or I don't know, do something, because whatever I was doing the first 6 weeks has been poo-poo.
How about we just say the football gods not in favor of the Broncos, not in favor of the Butterfingers. The lowest scoring team on the weekend was the Eaton W's, who could only find 92 points, falling to Cooper's Cousins by 34 total points. Rhamondre Stevenson, we told you, he's good. Took full advantage of the Damian Harris injury and that ridiculously bad Browns defense, rushing for 76 yards and 2 touchdowns. For Kevin's team, Lamar Jackson was bad, only mounting up 34 points. DK Metcalf only 2 points, and Nick Chubb could only score 6 total points. Cooper Cousins now evens their record at 3-3. Eaton W's now at 2-4. The final matchup was a thrilling one that took place between a couple of 1-4 teams. The NWA got just enough from Justin Herbert, who completed 37 passes without scoring a touchdown, but racked up 44 points to edge out the Chad Powers fan club by 7 points. Tyreek Hill was once again incredible, 12 receptions and 20 points. Alvin Kamara might be close to all the way back. 2 straight weeks of double-digit point performances. Miles somehow... it's amazing how Miles somehow got 89 points from Jimmy Garoppolo, Deion Jackson, and Chase Claypool. He still lost, but what the hell is that all about? Goodness gracious. MHA standings real quick before we get into the dough of the week. We mentioned Mikey Renault, 5-1. And leads the league in point score with 825. Right behind him, his buddy Lion Rip, who's 4-2 and 821 points. In third place, the Belt Sanders. In fourth place, the Gonzo Cats, both of those squad at 4-2. 4-2, Notorious CUP in the 5th spot. 3-3, Kilgore Trout in 6th. Cooper's Cousins, 3-3 in 7th. 8th place, NWA, 2-4. Lemonheads, 2-4. And the 9th spot. In the 10th spot, Eaton W's, who's 2-4. 11th place, 2-4, Butterfingers. And in last place, Chad Powers Fan Club at 1-5. So those are the standings and the dough of the week. I found a couple of suitors. Did you find the same, Miguel?
Yeah, I've got 2. I think that's all there is. I mean, just given
so
the way
too.
the matchups were with so many people on bye and injury.
So which one stands out to you?
This one was tough for me, but I give mine to Kilgore with Allen Robinson over Romeo Dubs. Would have won him the game.
The other one I saw was Chad Powers Fan Club, who also lost by 7. Could have played Juju Smith-Schuster, who had 16, or Alec Pierce over Cortland Sutton, who could only find his way to 2 points. Todd, you're I would say Chad Powers Fan Club. But Todd, you can break the tie. Who do you think should get the dough of the week, Kilgore Trout or Chad Powers fan club?
I think it's got to be Chad Powers fan club, just because knowing how the Broncos offense has been, you go with you. Yeah, you I don't know. It was tricky. It
Sounds
was.
like some solid advice there, Todd.
I know. Just well, again, I should know. I've Wilson and Judy, so I should learn. But no, I would have gone with Pierce because he was Matt Ryan. Was kind of going to him. Definitely in that game, that Thursday night game against the Broncos. So go with the hotter hand because the Broncos offense has been stale. So yeah, Chad Powers fan club.
All right, so there you go. The 1-5 Chad Powers fan club having a rough time of it, and here's the dough of the week. No. Stars of the week.
The cream of the crop. Nobody does it better.
Let's get into that. Mikey, not a lot of big time performances that I saw, but who was one of your stars of the weekend?
So I got to give one of mine to Stephon Diggs. Another game over 20 points.
Man, he's good.
Yeah, and for the first time in I don't know how long, I didn't have a chance to go back to find out, but somebody other than Cooper Kupp, I mean, they're tied, I think, for first among receivers, but it's been a long time since somebody's kind of been in that spot. So kudos to Stephon Diggs.
Yeah, both with 116 points, Kupp and Diggs. And what a season. Keep it up with Cooper Kupp. Who would have thunk that? But he's only had 1 week where he had single digits, but he's had a 20-point week, a 37-point week, and a 23-point week. Not a bad thing to be connected to probably the best quarterback in all the league, and Josh Allen. Todd, give me a star.
Let's go with Brandon Aiyuk. Like, what's going on here? Are we in the twilight zone? Like, this was a wide receiver that got traded on draft day. I recall last season, but I don't know. He must have found something in the football gods or something. And 2 touchdowns, 83 yards, 24 points. Man, you got give credit to Allen. I mean, he believes in his 49ers, and it paid off for him this week.
Yeah, now the previous 2 weeks he had 10 points combined, but decided to roll with them. I don't know if it was a lack of options or felt like the matchup was good. Obviously, Jimmy Garoppolo had a decent fantasy day, but man, oh man, 24 points. I mean, could be one of the surprises of the weekend for sure. But I think Ayuk's in his 3rd season now. Maybe he's breaking out a little bit. Something to keep an eye on as we go forward. I'm not sure, but how about, at least on my end, Tyreek Hill? For someone like, when you're, and this is my thought process, and obviously it's not working because I'm 2-4, but you try to, when you're picking that early in a draft, you're trying to pick a sure thing. And then, you're picking guys that are with the team they were last year. And then you talk about the Devontae Adams and Tyreek Hills. They go to a different team. You don't know what to expect. Maybe they have lesser quarterback in terms of just the talent of the quarterback themselves. And so you push them down a little bit in your lineup. Not saying to have those guys high, but there was probably guys I had higher than them at the beginning of the season just because they moved to a situation. We didn't know what Tua, at least in my opinion, Tua was going to do. And even without Tua, Tyreek Hill continues to pile up the receptions. Just 2 touchdowns. Both came in the same game. But when we're in a PPR league, 8 catches, 11. He had a game where he had 3, but then 10, 7, and then 12 a week ago. He's 4th in terms of scoring in our league, and just continues to pile it up. And the NWA, who was kind of, I don't want to say left for dead, but a really tough situation not too long ago. I believe he's won 2 in a row, right? No, he's won 1 in a row, but he's been a reason while he's still kind of in the mix here at 2-4. It's been wild to see, especially with the Dolphins. Do you have another player out there, Miguel?
Yeah, so I mean, Rhamondre Stevenson. I mean, we knew that once Damian Harris got hurt, he was going to take on a bigger role. But, 23 points right out of the gate.
Yeah.
That is some pretty good production. And we know that this is a Patriots team that is going to be, more run set trick than pass. That's could be some big things coming for Dylan's team.
Yeah, I think you're right. I kind of talked about it a little bit when we were going through the MHA trivia, but he was a guy I was looking at in the offseason, and it's tough because at that time, Damian Harris, what do you have, 15 touchdowns last year? And not all of us thought he was going to put up 15 again, but in my position, I thought, well, he's still going to be the lead back. Maybe he gets somewhere between 6 and 10. Stevenson, just kind of a backup role, or at least like kind of second fiddle. But man, he's excelled, and he's last 4 weeks, 8 attempts, 14 attempts, 25 attempts, and then 19 attempts. So a guy that's kind of come, I don't want to say out of nowhere, but he's flying up the leaderboard in terms of our point scoring. Todd, do you have someone else?
Yes, I do. Brees Hall, 19 points. I wasn't really high on him. I didn't think, he was one of those special type backs, but obviously the Jets, have so far have just have kind of proven everybody wrong. So 19 points for him, 116 yards rushing and 1 touchdown. So Brees Hall, fly Jets fly, I guess. I don't know. It's crazy. He was a good back in college, but I just didn't think he was like special. Like but he's and we knew he was gonna, I thought they were still gonna kind of split those carries between him and Carter, but he looks like he's starting to firmly put his spot permanently in that Jets offense. So Brees Hall, good on him.
Yeah, that was the other star I had for someone playing for the Jets, and we weren't sure what their offensive line was going to look like. I think going into this season, most people had him over Michael Carter. And in that first couple of weeks, it looked like, well, maybe Mike Carter's still in the mix, and he was scoring touchdowns. But something's happened the last few weeks. He's been solid like the first couple of weeks of the season, but he's found the end zone 3 straight weeks. So 14, 22, and 19. And this 4-2 Jet squad. What's going on in New York? The Jets and the Giants having really good seasons. Mikey, how about you start us off with the bust of the week?
What, do you smell something?
Do I smell something? What am I, hard of smelling? Of course I smell something.
Ooh, all right. Let's start with Todd's team.
Oh, thank God.
Aaron Jones.
Yeah, he was one of the
Aaron Jones. 5 points. Oh, man. And I don't think he had any rushing yards at the half in that game. He only finished with 19 for the game. What is going on with Aaron Jones?
Well, that whole
Here's
Packers
Aaron Jones
offense
rant. Here we go.
First of all, Aaron Jones was bad. He's just horrible. But that whole Packers offense has just been just god awful, just been horrible. So yeah, I'm wrong, but I'm still, I think they can turn it around. I think they can turn it around. I mean, they're too good not to do it. They'll figure it out. But yes, Aaron Jones was pretty bad. 5 points. My second round draft pick. Pretty bad.
I think huge in games past it would be like lack of usage, maybe so far against the Giants. We still had 8 points, but he ran 19 times for 19 yards. And I don't know if the Jets front 7 are just that incredible, or if Aaron Jones, because AJ Dillon also has not been spectacular either this year, but it's interesting to see. Yeah, poor Aaron Jones. Todd, you want to give me a bust?
Yeah. Yes, I will go with DK Metcalf. Only 3 points. Yikes. For a Seattle team with, Geno Smith behind the helm, that's actually been surprisingly, good. Granted, this is his first bad week. Last 2 weeks, the 13, 14, and 14. So, obviously, hasn't been hasn't been horrible. It hasn't been bad all the way around. But only 3 points. Only 2 receptions for 34 yards. Eek. Not good. Not good at all.
Yeah, it's probably a match thing I would just throw away. He's been good. He's been targeted. It was more disappointing because it was Arizona, who gives up a ton of yardage to quarterbacks and wide receivers, and for them to score 9 points. And obviously we talk about Geno not having a good day. Lockett didn't have a good day. The touchdowns came from Mr. Walker, who you traded away to me. Not enough, obviously, in my situation, but I think it was just one bad week. I mean, they do have the Chargers in LA, and we'll see how that kind of goes for them, but just probably a bad week for Seattle offense. I'm probably not too concerned, at least on my end. You guys kind of mentioned the 2 that I had, but I'll just go back to my team because obviously my team wasn't great. But how about J.K. Dobbins, or you can even just say a lot of the Ravens offense? We talked about how bad Lamar Jackson was, but J.K. Dobbins, who came out, scored a couple touchdowns his first game out. Not expecting him to score 2 touchdowns every week, but I think his usage is starting to decline a little bit. Obviously, Kenyon Drake had a really good week. You put him in the surprise section for sure. He did, I guess they said he did kind of, his knee tightened up a little bit, and I think that hurt his usage late. But it's not like, I don't know, J.K. Dobbins has been spectacular. He had that 21-point game. That was more 2 touchdowns, but 8 attempts for 44 yards in a game against Cincinnati where things aren't going right. And I wonder if something's going on with the Ravens offense. 19, they've scored 20, 19, and 20. Now, tough defenses, Buffalo, Cincy, and Giants. So we'll see how that maybe things come alive against Cleveland next week, who obviously are atrocious. So we'll kind of see how that goes. Did you have any other busts, Miguel?
Yeah, what did you call him? Nick Schlub?
Nick Flub.
Nick
But
Flub.
Schlub's not bad either.
Yeah,
Schlub. 6 points. Cleveland could not get that running game going at all. I mean, it's one of the things that, obviously Belichick has done best out of anybody as a coach in his career is he takes away what you do best. And, Nick Chubb only 6 points, but not only that, Kareem Hunt only had 1. So yeah, 7 combined from those two that's one of the better running attacks in the game.
Well, a game script, right? They were down. I didn't get to see this game, so you're going to know better than I would. But I mean, I see 38-15. That means they must have been playing from behind. I could see why Chubb didn't get a lot of run because when you're having to throw a little bit more than perhaps you want to. But I figure Hunt would just eat receptions in that regard. Amari Cooper had a touchdown, but he didn't have like 8 or 9 receptions. It was like 4 receptions. Maybe just the offense as a whole was just bad for the Browns. Interesting. Todd, did you have any other busts?
I'm just gonna. I think this is a bust and a writing on the wall type pick here. Just sitting right here, but Melvin Gordon, I think he's done. 0 points. I mean,
Done, huh?
He's done. I think. I mean,
is he getting traded done, or is he just gonna kind of stay in the wasteland of the 3rd or 4th running back in Denver?
I think he's gonna get traded. I think they're gonna trade him. Pouting on national TV. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. He's unless wherever he goes, depending on where he goes. But I think he's done. He's done in Denver. He's done in Denver, and I think for fantasy purposes, unless he goes to a team that's already, that's already established enough and they just want another running back, even then I don't think he's even gonna I think that game was his execution, I think, at that point, and it was execution by pouting.
A lot of shots on Melvin Gordon just kind of hanging out on the sideline with a sad face, and they kept going back to that shot over and over and over again. I mean, it's interesting, and he was kind of questionable all week, but no one's saying that he left or didn't go back in because of an injury. And so for them who picked up Latavius Murray pretty much off the street, and he comes in and gets more of the run in the second half. I don't know. Is it going to be Melvin Gordon for Cam Akers? Right, that's another guy that's kind of in the trade mix over
Christian
there in Los
McCaffrey?
Angeles. So get out of here. Yeah, okay.
Uh,
I mean, as a
I
Bronco
mean-
fan, who wouldn't want Christian McCaffrey? But I don't think that's going to be. We don't have
I
any
know,
picks
we
to
don't.
trade.
That's
It's
true.
all wrapped up in the Russell Wilson fun.
Well, that's what Mikey brought up a good point. We wouldn't have to give up a first, second, or third. We could probably get a Mikey. Didn't you say maybe like a fourth, maybe?
Come on, Todd. Like giving them Melvin Gordon for Christian McCaffrey. That's like giving up like a rotten
Mikey,
bologna
who's Mikey?
sandwich for a prime rib.
I still see his thing up there. I don't know.
I'm here. You guys can't hear me?
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Who
but yes,
knows?
but I guess we could both agree. Yes, who wouldn't love to have Christian McCaffrey on the Broncos? That would be amazing. But you're right. We don't have enough picks or even anything. I mean, to give the Panthers anyway, and the Panthers aren't going to just really give them away for nothing. But you could dare to dream. I guess. I mean, Cam Akers wouldn't be a bad, consolation prize, but the Broncos have some other stuff they got to figure out first, and that starts and ends with Russell Wilson. I think we can both agree on that point.
Yep, tough sledding there for the Broncos, and all they can do is see if they can figure it out, because it's a scary place being out here. Has a lot of optimism in the Bronco land, but that's just how it goes sometimes.
Yeah,
try to stay on pace. As we wait for Mikey to get back here, I'll tell you what's coming up here in Week 7. So let's see what's going on here as we go to Week 7. The top two teams in the MHA will battle for the number 1 spot here. The Hot Tamales will take on Big Bro Lion Rip as they'll go. There you go. Yeah, absolutely. As we got Mikey back now. So that's a huge one, because who will be the number 1 team? It's been Mikey the last 3 weeks. We'll see if Mr. Renault, Mike, you're both Mr. Renault, Aaron Renault comes out with the win. So that'll probably be the matchup of the week. Third place, Belt Sanders will look to keep the good times rolling, facing off against, guess who? The Butterfingers. Well, you need a win in a big way there, Todd Diamond. And you got to take on the third place
yes, I
team.
do.
Also needing a win, yours truly, who will battle 4th place Gonzo Cats. A couple of 3-3 teams will wrestle for that 4th win this week in Cooper's Cousins and Kilgore Trout. The defending champs will take their 4-2 record against 2-4, the NWA. And finally, who will turn their season around? Will it be the 1-5 Chad Powers fan club or 2-4 Eaton W's? There are 4 teams on a bye this week. A lot of big names in these 4 teams: Buffalo Bills, Los Angeles Rams, Minnesota Vikings, and the Philadelphia Eagles. So no Josh Allen, no Stephon Diggs, no Cooper Kupp, no Dalvin Cook, no Justin Jefferson, no Jalen Hurts, no Miles Sanders, no A.J. Brown. So anything you guys want to talk about before we get out of here? Anything that stood out in Week 6 or something you're excited about in Week 7?
Just need to get a win, and I'm glad I don't have to face Josh Allen. That's a good thing going into a matchup when I need a win really, really, really bad. So it's a good, it's a good thing. So we'll see how that goes.
Sure, I think just depending on if you're going to roll with Russell Wilson, or if you get that trade, like who's Allen's backup quarterback currently at the moment?
Well,
so he has Mac Jones, who's questionable, so he may be running to get Matt Ryan, or what's his name, Mr. Zappy.
Zap.
He's also got with Josh Allen, Gabe Davis on a bye. So we'll see. Russell Wilson's got the Jets. The Broncos have the Jets next week.
Yeah, but it's not. It's a 4-2 Jets team that's on paper or in reality is better than the Broncos right now. So yeah, it might be just a smidge tougher this time around. If this was last year when we faced the Jets, yeah, probably say we'll get the win, but no, this Jets team is like, no, we're better than you. So we'll see.
So you don't have to face off against Josh Allen. Mikey doesn't have to face off against Stephon Diggs. So he'll take on Lion Rip. How you feeling about that matchup, Miguel? Looks like you pretty much have a full squad in there.
Yeah,
I think so. I was trying to think. You have Tyler Lockett in there, but you just put Higgins in your flex spot.
yeah. I mean, this week I should be okay. It's next week that I'm worried about, where I've got the trio of Eckler, Kelsey, and Mahomes on the bye.
Who's the lucky dog that gets to play you that week?
The
defending champs and notorious CUP.
Yeah. So I'm definitely trying really hard to get the win this week, because next week's going to be really rough.
Bold prediction: in that week 8, Mahomes and Kelsey still scores 50 points. That's how good they are. Even on a bye, they'll still put up a bunch of points, because I'm still reeling from that loss. Jeez Louise. Those 3 outscored me almost. So here's that. How am I feeling about my matchup next week? That is a great question. I think on the Gonzo Cats, who do not have Jalen Hurts this week, so that's helpful. His backup quarterback is Brissett. Jacoby Brissett against Baltimore. I think it's like kind of mid-pack in terms of points allowed to the quarterback. And, of course, my computer's not loading, so it's going to take forever to let me know. But he also doesn't have Devonta Smith or Dalvin Cook or Knox. He may put in Waller, depending on – I was thinking he obviously has not been good. So no Justin Jefferson for me this week. I'll tell you what. If Tom Brady doesn't do well against Carolina – I don't know what I'm going to do.
Oh, damn.
Because that's a matchup he should feast on and prove to be what he's supposed to be. All that yelling on the sideline and his offensive line. Hopefully no parties leading up to this week. Hopefully I have Keenan Allen back this week. We'll see if I run with Mr. Jamal Williams over J.K. Dobbins, although Cleveland is pretty atrocious, but I think it just depends on the health of Dobbins too. So I would say I'm feeling great heading into that lineup or into that matchup with the Gonzo Cats, but it definitely could be worse considering the buys are going to help me probably more than it's going to help him. So there you go. Another week in the books. Well, are we almost halfway?
Yeah,
because we have 13 weeks, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're getting there.
So maybe next week's show, we kind of do a MVPs busts type of episode, and maybe we redraft the first 2 rounds on who we should think should be drafted going forward. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm down for that.
Yep, for sure.
All right, so you guys can get a head start on your notes for that one. I don't know if we'll do it. We'll see if we do some MHA trivia, but we'll recap week 7. Maybe I'm digging my grave, and it'll be rough going forward. Or maybe I turn some things around, but that should be fun to redraft the first 2 rounds and then talk about the MVPs, the bust, maybe some surprises, and we'll go from there. So great job, you guys. Good having you on here on a Tuesday night. Hopefully I get this out tomorrow on Wednesday. We'll see. But great luck to the rest of the MHA owners as we head into week 7. For Eric Lansing, Mikey Renault, and Todd Diamond, we'll see you next time on that MHA Trivia. Oh, jeez. Let's try that again. So for Mikey Renault, Todd Diamond, Eric Lansing, you can't get anything right here in fantasy football. You've been listening to the MHA Podcast.